Well, I mean, I suppose it's an open question exactly where things will go. But at least in some of the areas on which I work professionally, nuclear weapons policy, arms control, and that sort of thing, I think one of the strongest arguments for at least exploring the possibility for mediation is simply the exhaustion of other remedies. I mean, thanks to China's enormous nuclear weapons buildup right now and its refusal even to engage in conversations about a potential future for arms control, the arms control arena is otherwise going essentially nowhere right now. So why not try to be creative and think about other possibilities, including perhaps that of mediation? It doesn't strike me that there's much downside. Well, it's an open question, at least in the sort of nuclear weapons related issues that I work on. Mediation is not a traditional tool in the toolkit very much. And it's not clear at this point how exactly things like third-party mediation might play into these areas of special national security concern, highly technical questions of military capability, and that sort of thing. But they might, and certainly I think maybe one of the more potentially important ways is in providing, at least potentially, some kind of a neutral venue for disputants to have a location in which they can have discussions free of some of the political and symbolic baggage that might accompany perhaps other locations. So providing that kind of an opportunity is at least something that is that in fact has been important in the past. I mean, certainly in the arms control world, it's very traditional for U.S. and Russian negotiators, U.S. and Soviet negotiators before that, to go to Geneva, for instance. Switzerland being a famously neutral country, and of course Geneva being the second seat of the United Nations organization. So in the arms control world, we're already quite accustomed to going to a neutral venue to have complicated talks over long periods of time. Other venues may be valuable there as well. Qatar has played an important role in hosting other sorts of security-related talks, most recently with Israel and Hamas, for instance. Also, I remember well from my service in the first Trump administration, Qatar hosted the discussions between Secretary of State Mike Pompeo and the Afghan Taliban that led to the US withdrawal from Afghanistan a year later. So there's lots of international precedent for providing a neutral location that is less charged and less fraught for two disputants to come together and have hopefully constructive discussions. So there may well be very interesting things to explore here. I'm optimistic, at least. Goodness, I'm sure there are many. I suppose, it seems to me that mediation often tends to be most successful when the disputed question is something that is subject to divisibility, right? If you're arguing about how to split up resources or money or things of that nature, that's a context in which the parties, third parties, may be useful in helping find creative ways for the disputants to split their differences. It's more complicated on disputes that feel more existential to the parties, where it's more of a zero-sum competition, if you will, or questions go more to issues of fundamental identity. On those things, it's harder to split the difference. And so, to some degree, it depends upon what issues are involved. I would like to think that that there's scope for more of the former type of approach when it comes to questions of arms control negotiating, but we'll have to see. It's an interesting question that has not been much explored yet. So opening this door to think about these kinds of possibilities creatively is an important contribution in itself. Well, this is my first time here, and my impressions are not fully formed yet. So I don't know how to answer your question, except that I'm very excited and impressed by the broader venue of the Doha Forum and the Qatar Mediation Forum in particular as a component of this extraordinary meeting that have been happening for the last couple of days. Still trying to find my sea legs, but it's exciting and it's interesting and it's potentially of great value. And I have always liked the idea of bringing a diverse range of stakeholders together to share perspectives and compare thoughts and explore creative ideas and constructive ideas on how we can help manage some of the many problems that beset this world. So I'm excited by this possibility and I look forward to seeing where it goes.
Thank you so much.